Hi there, my name is Coo Clayton and I'm a children's author. I'm doing this little video today for all the families connected to the Wildhood Festival. I know that we can't quite be together in person at the moment, so we thought we would send you a story time virtually. So I'm going to read you my most recent book, which is called Maggie's Magical Islands. You might have seen my other two books. I've read them at the festival in the past. I think a few years ago I read Maggie's Mittens, and I have also written Maggie's Monsters. So today we're going to read Maggie's Magical Islands. So sit back, get comfy and enjoy the story session. Maggie and Mum loved to explore. They're getting ready for a holiday adventure when they discover an old map. Could it be a treasure map? There's Maggie and Mum, and they've found an old map. It's a map of the Scottish Islands. And look, one of the islands has a big X on it. Together, Maggie and Mum plan a trip to visit 5 different islands. Last stop, X marks the spot. What will the mystery treasure be? There we go. There's a map of the Scottish Islands, and there's the X right at the top. I wonder what the X marks. Maggie and Mum are so busy checking ferry times and weather forecasts that, oh no, they've forgotten to book anywhere to stay. Don't worry, Mum, Maggie says as they jump off the ferry onto the Isle of Arran. Can you see what I see? Perfect, Mum claps her hands. That's our transport and beds sorted. There they are, off the ferry, and they've spotted a camper van. I wonder if any of you have ever stayed in a camper van before. Arran is an amazing island to explore in a camper van. Wow, how did this stone circle get here? Maggie asks as they trek across Macri Moor. It's magical, isn't it? Mum replies. Neolithic people built it nearly 5,000 years ago. There's Maggie and Mum on Macri Moor, and they've discovered this amazing stone circle. But as they walk back to the camper van, oh no, what's all that smoke? Maggie asks. Looks like engine problems, Mum says. Maybe we need a new way to travel, or we'll never find the treasure. Oh dear, there's a load of smoke coming out the camper van. Can you think of a better way that they might get around? I love our new hire bikes, Maggie yells as she tests out her very loud bell. They're just what we need to explore Isla, the Queen of the Hebrides. Mum stops to check the map. This beach is a perfect spot to pitch our tent. It's called the Singing Sands. Here's a beautiful picture of Maggie and Mum, got their bikes, and they're on this lovely beach called the Singing Sands on the Isle of Isla. Now, let's see how their camping goes. But camping is too wild for Mum and Maggie. That was an awfully stormy night, Mum says. Get the map out, Maggie. Let's find somewhere with a proper roof and a comfy bed. I wonder if you've ever had any camping disasters. It looks like the weather was against Mum and Maggie. The faithful ferry takes Maggie and Mum onward to the Isle of Mull and ever closer to the treasure. The wind is blowing a hoolie and the waves are choppy. What a bumpy ride, Mum yawns. Whatever next? Maggie spots a grand castle with her binoculars. I'm sure we'll get a great night's sleep there, she tells Mum. And there they are. They've arrived at Tobermory. There's the ferry. And they're going to stay in a castle. What's that spooky noise? Maggie clutches Mum in the middle of the night. Is it a ghost? Shh, now, Mum reassures her. It's just the wind whistling through the windows. But Maggie's not so sure. I don't like this haunted castle. Let's look at the map and get going as soon as we can. Oh dear. Well, it looks like a nice place to stay, but there's obviously some very strange noises going on in the castle. Now, Maggie and Mum are on the Isle of Skye. My legs are so tired, Maggie grumbles. When will these glens ever end? Here, Mum says, at the magical fairy pools. Look at me, Maggie cries, splashing in the clear water. She wades in a little, looking for fairies. It's freezing, she gasps, and she jumps out again. There she is, doing some wild swimming. I wonder if you've ever tried wild swimming in Scotland before. Pretty cold. They find a cosy wee bothy to sleep in, and Mum makes a fire. Maggie hangs up her swimming costume to dry. Her dreams are full of treasure. She can't wait to find it tomorrow. That looks like a nice place to stay. A cosy wee bothy. And what is this treasure that they're going to find? The next day, Maggie and Mum cycle to the top of the Isle of Lewis. I can see a lighthouse, Mum calls out. It's marked with an X on the map. But I can't see any treasure. Do you know where the treasure is? Maggie asks the lighthouse keeper. Aye, the treasure's right here, he says with a smile. But you'll need to wait until after dark to see it. There they are, at the lighthouse on the Isle of Lewis. Some beautiful puffins flying around. I wonder what this is. Maggie and Mum are so lucky. They're spending the night in the lighthouse. But don't fall asleep, the lighthouse keeper warns Maggie, because when it gets dark, the treasure will appear. What do you think it might be? There they are, in the lighthouse. I've never stayed in a lighthouse before. That would be very exciting. Wow! 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 Maggie can't believe her eyes. Shimmering waves of light are sweeping across the sky. The northern lights, Mum tells her. See how they fill the night with colour. It's like an amazing dance in the sky, Maggie whispers sleepily. What a magical end to our island adventure. And there is the treasure, boys and girls. It wasn't a pot of gold. It was nature's beauty, the northern lights. I wonder if any of you have ever seen the northern lights before. It'd be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? I don't know if you noticed that on every page in my book, and actually in my other two books, there is a little squirrel. There he is, hiding on every page. I wonder if we could do a little bit of squirrel spotting. Would you like that? So you might need to get your binoculars on. Right, what page shall we choose? Oh, let's start with the first one. There's Maggie and Mum, and they were finding the map, weren't they, in the attic? Can you spot a squirrel? There it is. It's in a box. He's a bit of a cheeky squirrel. He gets all over the place. Right, let's choose another one, shall we? Oh yes, this is a good one. This is when the camper van breaks down. Can you spot a squirrel? There he is, up in the tree. Squirrels are very good at climbing trees, aren't they? Well, this is a good one. There is Maggie and Mum on the Singing Sands in Isla. Can you spot the squirrel on this one? bike basket. One more? All right. This is a very difficult one actually. I might have to just put it right up close. You might not be able to see from there. This is the lighthouse on the Isle of Lewis. There's lots of puffins flying around, but if you look very closely, you can spot the squirrel climbing up the lighthouse. So I hope you enjoyed my story, Maggie's Magical Islands, and I wonder if we could actually do a quick art and craft idea. I'm going to show you a few ideas, and maybe you could make them at home or sometime perhaps if you're at school. So I thought we could make our own very special lighthouse, because the last couple of pages feature the lighthouse where she saw the northern lights. And lighthouses are very tall and big, and they've got a light shining out of them. There's a nice picture of it. And I thought we could make our own lighthouse. So I'm going to give you a few ideas, but I bet you've got some ideas of your own how to make a good lighthouse. So I actually started one, and what I just used an old tube, an old crisp tube, a bit like this. And I wrapped it in white paper, and then I used some tissue paper actually, and I cut some strips and glued them on, but you could use pen or paint. And then I made a little door just with pen, and I popped some windows on it too. But I wonder if we could try and attach some sort of light to the top, and I've got a few things here which might help. So I've got a little plastic yogurt pot. I found a little plate in my daughter's play kitchen, and I've also got one of these little candles, these little fake candles that you get. I just got my Christmas box down, and I found that and thought, oh, that might come in handy. So I wonder if we maybe stick this on like that. What do we think? Got some sticky tape there. And maybe if we put this little candle on top as well. And what about putting this here? Attach it down with a bit more sticky tape. It's fun using up your old junk for recycling. My children love to do that, and there you go. Can you see? I've got my own little flashing lighthouse. Now, if you don't have those things lying around, what you could do is you could just try and paint a picture of a lighthouse. They're pretty easy, actually. I wonder if in your picture you could try and do the northern lights. Maybe you could think about the colours that you saw in the story and try and paint them onto your lighthouse. Here's one that I started, and I drew some nice jaggedy rocks and a nice tall lighthouse with some colourful stripes, and then I started painting all these lovely colours that are in the northern lights. So maybe you could do some painting, or you could try doing the junk modelling. Either way, I hope you have fun trying to make your own lighthouse. If you'd like to buy my books, Wildhood Festival are currently doing a deal for Wildhood families, and there'll be more information about that very soon. Thanks for now. I hope you enjoyed the story. Bye.